Shedeur Sanders' preseason debut was the sort of half night that forces a reevaluation. 14 of 23 for 138 yards, 2 touchdowns, a 113.9 passer rating in the first half, and a composed demeanor that made headlines and social feeds light up. Those are real plays on real tape, and they deserve honest attention. But they also deserve context, because the league has seen this movie before, and Steelers fans remember how the sequel can go wrong. Cite, turn search, for turn search 1. The frame Steelers fans bring is simple and blunt. Preseason fireworks do not reliably predict regular season outcomes. In 2023, Kenny Pickett's preseason was essentially flawless. He shredded defenses, posted gaudy efficiency numbers, and lit up highlight reels. And yet that preseason currency didn't translate into long-term starter stability. The lesson is not don't watch preseason, but rather don't let a small sample erase structural evaluation. Pickett's preseason numbers were eye-catching, 13 of 15 for 199 yards with a perfect passer rating, and they created a narrative that the rest of the season struggled to sustain. Cite turn search 6, turn search 11. So what's similar and what's different about Sanders? Similarity, the spectacle. Sanders' half gave fans concrete moments to rally around. 2 tidy TDs, good pocket presence, enough mobility to extend plays. Those things show a quarterback capable of functioning in pro concepts, and they're what ignite debate about who should start and when. Difference. Sanders arrived via a 5th-round fall that already changed his leash and the market's patience with him. First-rounders are often sheltered by draft capital and narrative. 5th-rounders have to earn patience on the field and through consistency. That dynamic both helps and hurts Sanders. It kept expectations tempered, fewer immediate calls to make him the starter, but it also means he must convert flashes into repeatable evidence quickly if Cleveland is to treat him as a real long-term asset. For Brown's decision-makers, the smart play is surgical and empirical. Expand his exposure in controlled, progressively harder environments while minimizing the risk of confidence-eroding blow-ups. That means scripted first-team reps against the first-unit defense in practice, then graduated exposure to disguised coverages and timed pressure packages. Put him in 2-minute and red zone scripts designed to test processing under stress, but avoid full-game baptism by fire. Keep Joe Flacco as the baseline starter to stabilize the room. He buys time to measure Sanders' development without sacrificing wins. Coaches should be deliberate. More high-quality reps, not just more snaps. Cite and search what should evaluators and fans watch for beyond raw box score totals? 4 measurable indicators separate a sustainable prospect from a preseason tale. 1. Performance under pressure. Completion rate and decision latency when facing a clear pass rush or when protection breaks down. Can he still progress to a second read and make the throw, or does he panic and force throws? 2. Turnover aversion in live contested windows. Preseason stat lines are forgiving. Turnovers are not. How he handles tight windows and contested catch situations matters. 3. Third down efficiency and 2-minute execution. These are situational gold. Success here translates directly to game wins. 4. Rep-to-rep improvement against first-unit disguises. If defenders start to show more complex look and Sanders keeps making the right read, his tape gains exponential predictive value. Those are the empirical tests that will tell a story far truer than crowd noise or celebrity tweets. There's also a behavioral and roster construction angle teams tend to underestimate. Draft position skews patience. Organizational psychology matters. A first-round QB gets roped partly because of cost and draft signaling. A day 3 pick must reward opportunity faster. Cleveland's front office must recognize the upside considerations, years of control, low cost, and protect their asset from both overexposure and underdevelopment. That means structuring Sanders' reps to accelerate learning without exposing him to chronic, confidence-shattering hits in public games. It also means communicating a clear plan to the locker room so veteran teammates understand the timeline and don't view an abrupt promotion as reckless. Cite turn search 3. Finally, the league-wide lesson the Steelers' anecdote offers is a sober one. Narratives are cheap. Tape is the price. Preseason sparkle can create a sensation, but only consistent performance under increasing difficulty converts that sensation into a starter. For Browns fans, the immediate impulse will be excitement, understandable and human. But the franchise's challenge is not to bow to the hype machine or to bury the kid for draft market reasons. Instead, they should measure, escalate, and judge by the work he produces when the disguise packages get harder and the mistakes cost more. If Cleveland builds the evaluation ladder properly, a series of escalating tests, clear performance thresholds, and protective load management, Sanders' debut becomes not a cautionary tale, but an evidence-based pathway. If they mishandle it, the Steelers' memory of Pickett's preseason miracle then melt will look eerily prescient. The choice is operational, not emotional. Use the tape as a prompt to test more rigorously and let outcomes, not social media, decide the quarterback's future. Shedeur Sanders' preseason debut was the kind of moment that explodes on social media. Tidy stat line, 2 TDs, no turnovers, and highlight throws that make even casual fans sit up. Thrust into the start because Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel were sidelined, Sanders did exactly what he needed to do. He didn't implode, he made smart decisions, and he flashed the accuracy and poise that made him a household name in college. That said, the reaction has been predictably overblown. Fans are already dreaming about franchise quarterbacks and Super Bowls, while critics point to the draft tumble that left Sanders on day 3 and argue he still has a lot to prove. Both sides are leaning into narratives that preseason football rarely justifies. Steelers fans have reason to roll their eyes. In 2023, Kenny Pickett's preseason was a revelation, almost mythic. Near-perfect drives, big plays, a preview of a future starter. The preseason hype train left the station, and it took months for reality to arrive. Pickett never translated that exhibition success into consistent, sustainable NFL production, and his career so far has been a reminder that preseason excellence is an unreliable barometer. So is Sanders' debut a Pickett déjà vu or a legitimate breakthrough? The short answer, it's both promising and far from definitive. Preseason snaps are scripted, that competition varies, and play calling is conservative by design. Players get a different kind of coaching in August than they do in October when games actually matter, and opponents are often working with mixed personnel and vanilla schemes. Those facts don't erase what Sanders did, they just put it in context. What matters now is what happens next. Sanders needs consistent reps, clearer looks with first-team personnel, and the inevitable grind of live game reps against real rushes and adjustments. He also needs to show the same command in film study, 2-minute drills, and third-down pressure situations. The Browns coaches will watch his reads, footwork, decision-making under duress, and how quickly he absorbs corrections. That evaluation will outweigh one exciting night. There's also the organizational angle. Draft status still carries weight. First-rounders often get longer leashes. Late-rounders have to force the issue with sustained performance. Sanders erased some doubt on Friday, but he didn't change the Browns' investment calculus overnight. Fans should celebrate the moment. It was a fun, confidence-building performance, but resist the urge to crown or crucify anyone on the basis of 3 quarters in a preseason game. The league is full of preseason heroes and regular season ghosts. If Sanders keeps producing when the margin for error narrows, the conversation will shift from what if to what now. Until then, caution is the wiser call.